Moldova confirms Shahed-type UAV crossing its territory en route to Romania. Russia attacks Ukraine with over 460 drones and 22 missiles overnight. And how Trump's team drafted peace plan for Ukraine with Russian involvement. Latest news next. Russian troops launched 22 missiles of various types and more than 460 drones at Ukraine overnight. Some of the drones flew to Moldova and Romania, according to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Right now in Kyiv, our first responders are working at the sites of Russian strikes. The main Russian attack overnight targeted the capital and the region, causing extensive damage to residential buildings and civilian infrastructure across the city.
According to him, as of now, there are 13 known wounded and unfortunately 6 dead. There is destruction in the Odessa region, ports, food supplies and infrastructure were hit.
They also struck Dnipro, Kharkiv, Chernihiv, and Cherkasy regions. The primary targets were the energy sector and everything that keeps normal life going. In total, the Russians launched 22 missiles of various types, including aeroballistic ones, and more than 460 drones, most of them Russian-Iranian Shaheds.
He also stressed that 4 drones flew to Ukrainians' neighbors, Moldova and Romania, and the exact time of the flights is known.
This is precisely why all partners must remember that lives need to be saved every single day. Weapons and air defense systems are important, as is the sanctions pressure on the aggressor. There can be no pauses in assistance. What matters most now is that all partners move toward diplomacy together through joint efforts. Pressure on Russia must deliver results.
It's heartbreaking and infuriating to witness this relentless cruelty. Nights like these tear at the soul, the fear, the chaos, the sheer inhumanity of it all. You can almost feel the shock waves in the air, the grief settling like dust over an entire country trying to hold itself together. There is a raw, desperate urge for justice in moments like these, for the world to wake up, to act, to finally understand that silence and hesitation cost lives. The courage people are forced to summon just to survive another night is something no nation should ever have to endure. What overwhelms the most is the mixture of pain and unbroken resilience. Even in the darkest hours, there is this fierce determination, this unyielding strength that refuses to be crushed. And it deserves not just admiration, but unwavering support. Now, not later. The world cannot stay numb. Not to this, not anymore. Moldova's border police have confirmed reports that its airspace was violated by a Shahed-type drone during a Russian combined air attack against Ukraine, reported by European Pravda. The border police stated that the UAV was detected in the south of the country. It traveled towards Vinogradivka, Vulcaneshti, then flew towards the Romanian border in the area of the settlements of Kalabashi in the Cahul district and Vadul Lui Isac, after which it crossed into Romania. The Romanian side was informed immediately, the statement reads. The border police added that they are inspecting the area along the drone's flight path for potentially dangerous objects. Honestly, it's maddening. How many times does this have to happen before someone finally decides to act? People are exhausted from hearing the same explanations, the same silence, the same hesitation. It feels unreal that drones can cut across the sky and everyone is still waiting, still calculating, still discussing instead of protecting their own airspace the moment danger appears. There is a deep, boiling frustration. Why aren't they shutting them down? What exactly is everyone waiting for? It's as if the fear and stress of ordinary people don't matter enough to push for immediate action. And the worst part is the feeling of helplessness, watching these violations repeat again and again, knowing that they could be intercepted, that they should be intercepted, yet nothing changes. It's impossible not to scream inside, enough, already, protect your people, protect your borders, do something, now. The American media outlet The Wall Street Journal has described in a new report a reconstruction of the events that led to the U.S. administration's emergence of a 28-point plan for a peaceful settlement of Russia's war against Ukraine, reported by The Wall Street Journal. According to The Wall Street Journal, in October, U.S. President Donald Trump instructed his national security team to draw up a plan to end the war in Ukraine, modeled on the plan for Gaza. Sources say that during a flight from the Middle East after the agreement between Israel and Hamas had been reached, Trump's envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner began drafting the first version of what eventually became a 28-point plan. While preparing their draft, Witkoff and Kushner relied on information from a Kremlin insider who held secret meetings with aides in Miami, anonymous US official said. The Russian input came from Kirill Dmitriev, a Kremlin representative with close ties to Vladimir Putin and a long-standing personal relationship with Kushner. According to the Wall Street Journal sources, Dmitriev was brought to Miami on the weekend before Halloween for 3 days of intensive dinner discussions and lengthy talks at Witkoff's home. A senior Ukrainian official also arranged at least 2 phone calls with President Volodymyr Zelensky. However, when the plan leaked to the press last week, it became clear that its terms favored the Kremlin. This shocked European governments and Kiev's supporters in Congress, triggering several days of transatlantic crisis for the Trump administration. US officials said the plan reflected a good faith attempt by Witkoff and Kushner to secure the support of Kremlin dictator Vladimir Putin, who had repeatedly rejected the White House's efforts to halt the fighting in Ukraine. In particular, Dmitriev insisted on a demand that Ukraine must not join NATO, on the complete withdrawal of Ukrainian forces from Donbass, and on reducing the size of Ukrainians' armed forces. Citing Donald Trump's desire to expand economic ties between the United States and Russia, Dmitriev proposed signing economic agreements in the fields of artificial intelligence, energy, and many others. Witkoff, having spoken with American and foreign officials and having read intelligence assessments, concluded that Ukraine was in a weaker military position, officials said. According to the sources, Witkoff and Kushner then invited Rustem Umerov, National Security and Defense Council Secretary of Ukraine, to Miami to show him the plan. Sources say he told them plainly that the deal would favor Russia more than Ukraine. He recommended that they call Zelensky to brief him. On the 16th of November, Kushner and Witkoff presented their 28-point plan to the Ukrainian president. Zelensky thanked them and Trump for their efforts to reach a peace agreement. He promised to return to them with his thoughts, saying the plan still required further work. Secretary of State Marco Rubio received a copy of the plan on the 18th of November, a source said. Rubio had been aware of Witkoff and Kushner's initiative, but according to sources, had not known the full extent of what they had prepared until then. After the plan's details were made public, the White House was suddenly confronted with the crisis over its one-sided terms. Rubio was fielding calls from angry European officials and lawmakers. The sources noted lawmakers told reporters at the conference that Rubio had said the initial draft had been influenced by a Russian without naming Dmitriev. Rubio denied the lawmakers' claim. The peace proposal was authored by the US. It is based on input from the Russian side, but it is also based on previous and ongoing input from Ukraine. Rubio, Witkoff, and Kushner quickly arranged a meeting with Ukrainian and European officials in Geneva and agreed to amend the plan to make it more acceptable to Kiev. Officials say the final peace plan will ensure that Ukrainians' core objectives are met. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Support Ukraine, like and subscribe.